Hello, welcome back, or welcome to my channel. Are y'all ready to go back to high school with me? Because we're about to listen to 1989 TV. But before we hop into the video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe if y'all love all things music. It is 11:58 p.m. We are 2 minutes away from 1989 Taylor's version entering our lives, and I am absolutely excited. The last time I listened to this album for the first time, I was 14 years old, starting high school, freshman year of high school, and I'm just... My plan is to listen to it in order from Welcome to New York to the last track, which for me, I can't remember what the last track is with the vault tracks. But for this video, we're only going to be reacting to the core 16, or in this case 14, because we've already heard Wildest Dreams and This Love TV. So those reactions will not be in here, but I will rank them in my final ranking at the end of this video, as well as on my TikTok. You should go follow that and link down below. But in terms of the song that I'm most excited to hear Taylor's version of, I mean, absolutely everything. But the song that I was most obsessed with as a teenager when this first came out was I Know Places. And I just have a feeling that the Taylor's version of that song is going to have me going absolutely feral. And I'll see y'all when we start listening to Welcome to New York. As always, due to copyright, things will likely be sped up. Okay, changes off the bat, which I don't know if this is just like a sound engineering change, but for some reason Taylor Swift's, like, her vocals, because I've been listening to 1989 OG all week, seem more like in the forefront on the OG Welcome to New York, whereas this one sounds a little more like, just like muddled. I don't know, not as prominent. They are softer, in my opinion. They aren't as forward as I expected. But in terms of just like opening sonics, that opening clap, it's still there. Has me moving, has me grooving. Love it. It's been waiting for you. Welcome to New York. Welcome to New York. Welcome to New York. It's a new soundtrack. I can dance to this beat. Forevermore. The lights are so bright, they never blind me. Welcome to New York. Okay, other than just like the difference in the sound of her vocals, I think what I'm getting at is, so this album is heavily inspired by like synth pop, 80s synth pop, and I think the vocal treatment, or at least the treatment of her vocals this time around, kind of does fit that a little bit more. So, you know, it's not necessarily, I think it's just something that I'm gonna have to get used to over time. Then also, there are a few things that I feel like I'm hearing different, but I can't quite pick out within that chorus. It's either some ad-libs or just like some different, like, yeah, something in the background that sounds different in my opinion, but I'll see if I pick up more on it as we go on. It keeps you guessing, like any real love, it's ever changing, like any true love, it drives you crazy, but you know you wouldn't change anything. Okay, I think that change in the chorus that I'm hearing is, I think, just like with her vocals kind of being less like forward, I also think we're kind of hearing the layers, so her backup vocals and her like layered vocals, etc. I think we're getting to hear those layers more simultaneously, so you're getting to like hear them all at once, and I think that's what's like causing this little shift in my brain. And we just listened to the first song of 1989 Taylor's version. Now listen, I am a Reputation girly through and through, but 1989 and Midnights, listen, those are some top contenders for that top three is, it's just pop perfection in my opinion. And Welcome to New York, she does not get the love that she deserves. Granted, a lot of the songs of the album I think should get some more love, don't always, but we're moving into Blank Space, and I have no cool left in me to just hear Taylor Swift sing Blank Space and then Style, and then out of the first half of this album has no right to be the most superior thing in the world, but it is so. Meet you where you've been. I can show you incredible things. Magic, madness, heaven, sin. Saw you that weekend. I'm dying to see how this one ends. Grab your passport in my hand. I can make the black guys good for a weekend. So it's gonna be Starbucks lovers. They'll tell you I'm insane. 'Cause you know I love the players and you love the game. You got blank space, baby, and I'll write your name. Okay. With Blank Space, so I said this when we listened to Speak Now TV, like with Enchanted TV. Since we've been hearing her perform it live on the Eras Tour so much, it doesn't sound as shocking hearing the Taylor's version of this. And Blank Space, Taylor's version doesn't really sound, it doesn't sound as different as I felt like Welcome to New York, but definitely you could hear in that chorus there some changes. The vocals are a little bit clearer, crisper. Maybe there's not so much production, I feel like, on that. But then you've got some things that they've added, like when she said game, I'm sure you probably saw my reaction. They definitely added an emphasis to that, which I think is necessary. I mean, why wouldn't it be? That's like a prominent line. But yeah, so this one, I think what we're going to find with Blank Space, Style, Shake It Off. Well, obviously you've heard Wildest Dreams, Taylor's version, Bad Blood. We've only heard snippets of that. But all the songs that are on the Eras Tour set list that we've heard over and over again for the past few months, I think those are going to be the less shocking in terms of, you know, change. Because we've been hearing them for the past few months, so we've technically kind of already had a prelude to what Taylor's version of this would sound like. But so far, still sounds superior.
Boys only want love if it's torture. Don't say I didn't warn ya. Boys only want love if it's torture. Don't say I didn't warn ya. So it's gonna be forever.
Well, like I said, not too much change, I feel like, from OG, or at least I'm not perceiving as much change in this one. Still absolutely iconic, just as amazing. And then we're moving into another iconic song, Style. Unfortunately,
You come and pick me up, no headlights. I should just tell you to leave, 'cause I know exactly where it leads, but I watch us go round and round each time. You got that daydream, look in your eye, and like we're crashing down. We come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style.
okay, some changes have been perceived. I can't tell. Is that a bass that I'm hearing? Or is it a... I think it's a bass, but there's like this heavy, kind of like darker beat that's kind of got a through line throughout this song that is so much more prominent. I think what I'm hearing so far throughout these, other than obvious, you know, audio engineering, sound engineering, her vocals sounding different, so crisper or just slightly more present in most of what we've heard so far, it's this kind of emphasis on, it was inspired by sort of that 80s synth pop sound when we first heard 1989, whereas I feel like this definitely has a stronger 80s synth pop, dance pop, like really is kind of leaning more into that vibe. And I think she's just making that more prominent in these versions. Granted, we're only 3 in, because with, like, I'll say this, with Wildest Dreams, Taylor's version, and This Love, Taylor's version, we didn't quite hear what I'm hearing, like, in this sense, where it's like really heavily leaning more into that 80s vibe. But I also feel like if we're going to talk about like the songs that really have that synthy, dancey vibe, these definitely have more of that, and that's why we're hearing it come out more. And I realize I've been talking about this song for a while, so let's continue on. Okay, that bridge definitely did sound a little different, but I think that's more due to like modern like sound engineering than anything to her having like changed it stylistically. And I think that's just going to be the same throughout. I mean, it's still one of her newer, older albums, you know, being less than 10 years, like 9 years ago. But yeah, I definitely think that everything in here is going to sound like extremely new, but also exactly the same at, you know, the same time. But up next, Out of the Woods. Out of the Woods. Out of the Woods was one of my surprise songs. So, I have a connection to this, but I just think it's going to be so iconic for hearing the first I remember of 1989 TV.
Looking at it now, it all seems so simple. And I remember thinking, are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods? Are we in the clear? 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 Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods? Are we in the clear? Are we in the clear? Are we in the clear? Are we in the clear?
Nothing has changed. Not a single thing. Other than some minor, like I said, audio engineering things, like to her vocals and like some of the prominence of things. It's pretty much exactly the same, in my opinion. The first I remember of the night. Listen, this is just a banger and a bop and everything in between, and everyone else agrees with me. I just, okay, obviously, ability to form words for this song, non-existent, so let's play. Didn't have much to say or react to this one because, I mean, why mess with pop perfection, like I said. There's a reason this is called Pop Bible and Out of the Woods. She's the top sermon of the Bible. Love it. Love it. Other than those tiny, like, minute changes, there's that. But up next is a song that I'm so curious to hear sonically how it would have changed. And it's called All You Had to Do Was Stay. Track.
People like you always want back the love they gave away. And people like me wanna believe you when you say you've changed. The more I say, all you had to do was stay. Have me in the palm of your hand. Then why'd you have to go and lock me out when I let you in? Hey, now you say you want it back. Now that it's just too late. Well, could've been easy. All you had to do was.
Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Absolutely iconic, perfection, one of the best things I've ever heard. Everything I'm going to say about every song on this album. I love this song so much when it first came out. Like, I mean, I love the singles, but like, you know, being an OG Taylor Swift fan, you get that experience of listening to the entire album. Like, All You Had to Do Was Stay and I Know Places, and then Wonderland and New Romantics. Man, were they on repeat. Oh, and I Wish You... Oh, damn. These are iconic songs. Can't wait to hear the rest. Other than, again, those like minute changes that you can just pick on here left and right, that was beautiful. Next up, we have a little known song called Shake It Off. Relive the beginning of the 1989 era with Shake It Off, Taylor's version.
I say I'm too late. Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say. I go on to cruising. Can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright. 'Cause the players will go shake, 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 shake. I shake it off, I shake it off. I never miss a beat.
This is one where I hear some notable change. I mean, first of all, with the opening drums and instrumentals, they're so much clearer, crisper, like you're next to the band line, the drum line there. And then you move in, and it's the same thing as with Welcome to New York. Her vocals sound a slight bit less prominent. Well, it's just not that... Okay, I think it's maybe less... There's something about her vocals that sound a little more murky. Where I don't know, I feel like on Shake It Off OG, I feel like it was a little more in your face, and this is a little less in your face vocally. But I don't know how to particularly articulate this. But I feel like Shake It Off and Welcome to New York have had the most notable difference, in my opinion.
Hey, just think while you've been getting down and out about the liars and the dirty cheeks of the world, you could have been getting down to this sick beat. My ex-man brought his new girlfriend. She's like, oh my god, I'm just gonna shake it to the fella over there with the hella good hair. Won't you come on over, baby, we can shake, shake, shake.
There was a little bit of change in that bridge, but somehow I think the bridge of this, the bridge of Taylor's version is somehow more iconic than the bridge of the OG. Is that a controversial statement? I don't know, but damn. Beautiful. Well, damn. Shake it off. Shake it off. I want to listen to you again. I got to say, I want to listen to every other song again already because, you know. But Shake It Off, I need to listen to you again just for that bridge. That bridge. But up next, I Wish You Would. The song that Taylor Swift wrote to Jack Antonoff's track. Okay. Mentally preparing, and let's listen.
2 a.m. in your car, windows down, past my street, the memories
that song. Man, just because, one, vibes. Gotta be vibing the song. But also, really, I didn't notice any perceivable change because it just kind of like sounds, for the most part, like the original. Which is not a bad thing because when you are amazing as this song, no change is necessary. But up next is a song that is slept on too much. Bad Blood. I also have a bone pick because where's Bad Blood featuring Kendrick Lamar, Taylor's version? Because that, in my opinion, is the superior version of this song, and I play it on repeat all the time. But you know what? Bad Blood, Taylor's version? Let's sit back and listen.
Baby, now we got bad blood. You know we used to be mad love. So take a look what you've done. Cause baby, now we got bad blood. Hey, now we got problems. And I don't think we can solve them. You made a move, it's so sad to think about the good times. You and I.
Is anyone else who's seen the Era Tour, been to the Eras Tour, just immediately thinking after that first chorus she's gonna do that, big drop? I was like fully on thinking that. But I'm just gonna say, if y'all sleep on Bad Blood, Taylor's version, I don't know what you be doing. Because the beat's going even harder this time, and I think it's even more iconic. Listen, when I say it's necessarily my top, tippity top of the 1989 ranking, not necessarily, but this song deserves more love. And that is my rant for the day.
Band-aids don't fix bullet holes. You say sorry just for show. If you live like that, you live with ghosts. Band-aids don't fix bullet holes. You say sorry just for show. If you live like that, you live with ghosts. If you love like that, blood runs. 'Cause baby, now we got bad blood.
I was just vibing. I was bopping to this song. If you might hear a little noise, I have a sleepy puppy trying to hide under the blankets over here. He being real cute. But yeah, up next is Wildest Dreams, Taylor's version. Obviously, we've had it for a couple years, so I'm not going to react to that. But then we get How You Get the Girl, Taylor's version. I forget how long this song is, but man, is it a fun time.
Stand there like a ghost, shaking from the rain. She'll open up the door and say, are you insane? Say it's been a long 6 months, and you're too afraid to tell her what you want. And I tell her you broke was a problem. I would wait forever and never. Broke your heart, I'll put it back together. I would wait forever and never. And that's how it works, that's how you get the girl.
So I definitely hear some sonic changes on this, at least with the opening OOOs. You can definitely hear it. There's a clearness and there's a crispness. There's a clearness and there's a crispness. Sounded like I said Christmas there for a second. That isn't necessarily on the... Not that we couldn't hear her vocals on the original, but there's definitely something clearer, more prominent about what we're hearing on this one. I mean, she's always been a great song. She's always been a fun time. And this Taylor's version is no exception. She was a fun time. I don't know, it might be just that it's late and I'm tired, but, I'm going to move on to the next song. Well, the next song is This Love, which we've already heard. But then after that, I Know Places. And if you know me and anything that I said at the beginning of this video, I Know Places. I'm so freaking excited to hear. All right. Let's listen. I'm in love. Listen, there's really not too much of a change from the original, other than maybe that opening video camera click sound. Definitely, you can kind of hear it more prominently. But I'm in love. This is one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. Listen, I'm gonna be saying that about every song in this album, it feels like. But High School Me is very, very satisfied with where we went with this.
we are the foxes. And we ride out of places we won't be. Hold my hand and don't ever drop it. My love, out of places we won't be running lately. She's in the dance trying to track us down, 'cause
The scream and we run, one of the best things I've heard today. Really, to be honest, my entire life. I'm a little speechless for the most part about this song. But up next is the fan favorite, Clean. So let's see what Taylor Swift does for Clean.
the drought was the very worst. When the flowers that we'd grown together died of thirst. One morning, gone was any trace of you. I think I am finally clean.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna have much to say about this. Obviously, sonically, you can kind of tell some like minor changes, but to me, it sounds pretty damn close to the original. I am not a big Clean stan, as I know the rest of the world is. Not that I don't like the song. There's no Taylor Swift song that I hate. But I have never been the biggest Clean person. So I probably won't have too much to say to this song. But so far, sounds great. Sounds like the original in my opinion. So
10 months sober, I must admit. Just because you're clean don't mean you don't miss it. 10 months older, I won't give in. Now that I'm clean, I'm never gonna risk it. Head pouring down, when I was drowning, that's when I could finally breathe.
and that was the original album closer. To all of my Clean stans out there, I hope you are satisfied. To me, it sounds pretty damn close to the original, so I hope that y'all are feeling great. But up next, we're moving into the original 3 bonus tracks, starting with one of my absolute faves. I'm a huge Alice in Wonderland fan, so it's no surprise that it's Wonderland.
Flashing lights and we took a wrong turn and we fell down a rabbit hole. They tell us don't rush into things, didn't you flash your green eyes at me? Haven't you heard what becomes of curious minds? Found Wonderland, you and I got lost in it and we pretended it could last forever. We found Wonderland, you and I got lost in it and life was never worse but never better.
I'm just gonna say, it sounds almost exactly like the original. Although, I just now picked up on this, and I don't know if that, maybe just my brain's working overtime. When she's saying Wonderland at the end there, it kind of does sound like she's putting on a British accent, which may be hinting to a certain British One Directioner that she may have dated. But I digress. But damn, does it still sound absolutely amazing. I mean, what else can I say? She really knew what she was doing when she was going in and redoing these songs.
I reached for you, but you were gone. I knew I had to go back home. You searched the world for something else to make you feel like what we had. And in the end, in Wonderland, we both went mad. Oh,
Woo! The Mad was a little different, but man, was it amazing. I think I like this the Mad in this one more than the original. So, but up next is You Are in Love. I wonder how Jack and Taylor felt like re-recording the song, seeing that Jack and Lena are no longer together anyways. But, you know, the sentiment still stands.
one look, dark room, meant just for you. Time moved too fast. You play it back, but you can feel it on the way home. You can see it with the lights out. You're in love, true love. You're in love, can you hear the silence?
She's just as sweet as I remember her. I'm not a You Are in Love stan, so I really didn't react too much to that, but it sounds pretty much exactly like the same one in my opinion. I mean, obviously, like I said, again, minute changes due to sound engineering. But up next is the OG 1989 Deluxe Closer, New Romantics, and I don't know why, but for some reason in my head, I feel like this is going to sound a little bit more prominently different, if that makes sense. So let's slide into the last song of this video.
We're all bored. We're all so tired of everything we read for. Change that just aren't coming. Show.
Well, my prediction is wrong. This sounds pretty much exactly like the same song, or it sounds exactly the same like the original. I think since these 3 bonus tracks, obviously since they came the latest of the original 1989, I think, and we might hear this reputation, since they're the closest to the now Taylor, that's why they aren't sounding that much different. But it still sounds absolutely fantastic. This is my feel-good song. Whenever I'm in a sad or like bad mood, this is the Taylor Swift song that I put on to bring me out of that mood. So I'm very happy that it still sounds as upbeat and poppy and just like sounds like happiness to me, and it will always kind of personify that for me.
Please take my hand and please take me dancing and please leave me stranded. It's so romantic.
And that was the perfect ending to the perfect album. Well, technically Reputation is probably my perfect. It's a perfect ending to a perfect album. It just is. Like I said, I'm not going to react to the vault songs in this video. That is going to be a separate video. So without further ado, let's rank 1989 Taylor's version. So it's probably been a few days of me listening to this non-stop. So here's what my preliminary ranking of 1989 TV is going to be. I'm just going to say, some of these songs sound almost exactly identical to the OG, and some of these I can tell some notable difference, like with Welcome to New York and Shake It Off. I think those are the 2 that I really pointed out. So I don't know, 1989 is such a hard album for me to rank, because there are so many songs on here that could easily climb in and out of number 1. Like Blank Space, Style, Out of the Woods, All You Had to Do Was Stay, I Wish You Would, I Know Places, New Romantics, Wonderland. All of those songs and more just like keys easily move in that top spot. But let me know what y'all thought of the 1989 TV. What was your favorite song? Are you excited to hear anything else possibly that could be creeping its way in? I don't know, double album theories? I mean, we'll see. And let me know what you would like me to react to next.